everyone, you're welcome to Family TV. My name is Eyuku Jemiroa. How have you all been? I'm so excited to be back again. Today I am not alone. I have with me a very wonderful personality, a friend and a sister. Today together we are going to be discussing a very interesting topic, and it says, but before then, let's see who we have here. Hello, Praise.
Hello everyone, thank you for having me. Mrs. Am I correct?
Yes, you better be correct.
Okay, my name is Praise, just as you have said. I'm an entrepreneur, also a relationship coach. Maybe some of you have seen me on Facebook. I'm a founder of Relationship, Love and Relationship. You can also see it on Facebook through the page.
Okay, so that's it about praise. Today we are going to be discussing a very special topic, and it says the causes of conflict and resolution. So, but before then, I would like us to actually look at the meaning of conflict first. Now, there's someone that said something that as close as the teeth and the tongue is, they still fight.
Of course.
And I've also heard people saying that it is possible for two people to be married for XYZ years and there will be no disagreement. Do you buy into that school of thought?
No, I don't.
All right, so
Maybe the disagreement they are talking about, there is no fight out that people should separate. But at least there is something that must result to something that you can disagree. We must not agree on something at all times. So there must be a little disagreement.
okay. So before we start looking at the causes of conflict, let us first of all take a look at the meaning of the word conflict. Conflict actually means disagreement.
Yes.
Between two parties. Now, in this case, we are talking about the husband and the wife. Now, what really causes conflict? If there are no causes for conflict, there will be no need for resolution. So now, one of the first reasons that I have critically looked at that I know causes conflict in marriage is the pressures of life. Now, before I ask you, now everyone, when you get married, even before the children start coming, you know the children, they are part of the pressure.
They are even should I call them pressure, because they are gift, but they are the one that give most the pressure we are talking about.
Exactly. Now, the pressures of life. Now, husband and wife, you wake up every morning, the woman has chores to do. That could be pressures. She has to be at work by 8 a.m. every morning. Before going to work, she has to prepare breakfast, she has to clean the house. The man is running to catch up with traffic, going to work. All of this put up together, pressure from family members, pressure from boss at work. If you are not able to properly manage these pressures, you will not know when you start passing out negative emotions to your spouse. Now, let's hear from you. How does pressures of life causes conflict in a marriage?
Okay. You know, sometimes not everybody that can manage pressure. Okay. And because of that lack of management of pressure, you see that sometimes we begin to nag. Most especially women, we nag. And for the man, you see man start straight. In fact, he look at you, and when you are talking to him, he's no longer responding. Because of that, you start to feel that he doesn't love you. Okay. Because you feel he doesn't love you, and you think, if this man just left me. I remember a few days ago, I was talking with someone, even with my husband. I told them, any marriage that survived the first 3 months, that marriage is bound to survive if the people agree and accept it to survive. Yes, that first 3 months, because that is where the pressure is. Because first, you are dealing with different person. You came from different home, you came from different background, and this person have different ideology about marriage. And maybe he's the kind of person that say, if I marry, my wife will cook and do dinner. And maybe you have read from books and every other thing that at least when you marry, the husband love you. Some of us like breakfast from bed.
Breakfast on the bed.
I don't know how to put it. Breakfast on bed, and all those stuff. Before you know, now you are the one cooking. You are the one doing a lot of things. Your friend want to chat with you. There are sometimes you call me and you not even be able to answer. You understand? And all those, you feel neglected, and that you will want at least you will want somebody to reciprocate. Because that person is not reciprocating, the home will not be on tension. The man will not be looking at, why is this woman so like this? And the woman is feeling, why is the man so like this? Before you know, their heart is divided.
Okay, I would like to say something.
Okay?
Between is a question between the man and the woman, who takes pressure the most? Because I have seen men, when they are pressures from the work, they get home, the least, what they just want is a peaceful environment. They don't want you to disturb them. They don't want the children to cry. They don't want their wife to. They just want to go inside and relax. And the woman on her own part starts to feel neglected, like you have mentioned. Now, who takes pressure the most? Who handles pressure the most between the man and the woman?
It's the same thing.
Okay, to you it's the same.
To me, it's the same. I really know, to me, it's the same. Do you know why? We are individual and we are different. We fit something differently. The man is coming from work. His head and everything is loaded. Most especially if you have your husband at work in the field, he is tired and he's coming home again now, meeting another tired woman who has been, maybe when kids are involved, who has been, Junior, John, calm down, this, that. The woman is thinking this man is just enjoying in the office, while the man is thinking the woman is at home not doing anything. I don't know if you get. So the two of them are facing the same thing, just that they faced it differently. So I will say the pressure, we feel it the same.
Okay,
The same way.
in my own opinion, I think maturity is part of it. Some persons do not know how to handle pressure. Some, it could be work pressure. They can handle work pressure better than financial pressure. Take for example a situation where the house rent has not been paid, school fees has not been paid. Now the woman wants to, anything the woman does, the man flares up and is angry, is screaming. I think at that moment, the man is not being able to handle financial pressure more than other pressure. The man may be apparently be doing well if it's just pressure from how do I put it, pressure from work, pressure from other family members, even pressure from the church. The church will actually put pressure on you. But I believe maturity, individual differences, some persons know how to handle pressure in the sense that they don't allow negative emotion get to the next person. If they are pressurized, they can still be calm. And they just explain to you that, please, this is not the time for us to talk, this is not the time for you to bring up such topics. And I believe it's a certain level of maturity that can take some couples to that extent, and they won't be conflicts. But because of that lack of maturity, they allow the pressure to weigh them down, and before you know it, they start disagreeing. How do you see that?
Yes. Now, you said something. You said we all have a way of managing our pressures. Say some can handle financial pressure. I watched one of your video, your YouTube channel, when you said a woman is a helper. I don't know. I watched it. I saw it there. You said a woman is a helper. In other words, there are category of pressure that a woman can carry, and somebody that is helping you can carry.
So when it exceeds that,
she may not be able to carry it. It's just that you have a helper.
That's right.
Have assisting you. But you that they are helping, you are not just let's calm down. You are not just carrying the pressure of the person. The person is carrying the physical part of it. You are carrying both the person that is carrying the pressure.
Wonderful.
Yes.
That's the man.
The man is carrying you that is carrying weight. I don't know if you understand.
I get.
The man is carrying you. You that is carrying weight is carrying you. So we feel it more. Is it not the man?
Okay.
The man will have the weight.
I think we should clap to that. Clap to that. That is a responsible man. If the man is responsible and the man has foresight and he understands his purpose as a man, that is when he should be able to.
When you are talking about a responsible man, me, I classify a responsible man as a man who have a lot of responsibility around him and he can take it. Every man are responsible.
Okay.
Yes, they are responsible because they have responsibility.
But
the problem is they are not responding. That is another part of conflict conflict, causes of conflict. They are not responding to the responsibility. So because they are not responding to the responsibility, they become responsible by shying it out away, pushing it out
To the woman.
to the whoever they want to push it to. Some of them can push it and enter alcohol and say, alcohol, just come and help me to solve it. That's why you see some men that are in the club, they are in different places. They tell you that they just want to count their names. They just want to, they want to, because the pressure is much. Their shock absorber that can hold the pressure is no longer there. So they just push it off. So they push it off. So everybody have responsibility, but responding to it. Responding to it. So the pressures of life, you beat traffic, you want to get to, see, do you know how much for fuel? So you fuel in the car. You fuel general, most especially the country alone is pressurized. In fact, it's a pressure.
Living in Nigeria is a
Living in
pressure.
Nigeria is a pressure. Then a man will think of how he will subscribe your GoTV. I don't know, maybe you are using DSTV, whatsoever channel you are using. Now, he will do that. Then the woman will think of how he will support this man so that shame will not come.
That's
Then,
a good woman.
that is a good woman. Then from there, the same good woman will see that in my neighbor's house, I heard that they were just doing. I would like to have it in our home. Now our house is not fine enough. I would like the house to be fine. We accumulate, everything become it's sucking us dry. The man is feeling it, you are feeling it. So the activities of life and everything is the major reason why we have a lot of conflict, because we can't manage it. The man will be telling the woman, I'm tired. The woman will be telling the man, can't you see? See, we shouldn't look at it as perfect or anything. The woman will say, can't you see? Women, there's a kind of spirit God put in us. We are seer.
We have the third eye.
The third eye. We see what men are not seeing. Man can just wear trousers and go. He did not see that the trousers are torn. He's on his way. Then one, he will pass across as a fellow man. The fellow man will just say, bros, good. And he say, he will just say, woman, Papa, good morning. After he say, does this woman, the man have a
wife out too?
The wife is not too. He just want a torn trouser. I'm just using that as an example. The way our eyes are seeing good and bad and everything, so also it's affecting our emotion that make us to become pressurized, because we want to meet, we want it 100%. And the men don't even care. Because they don't care, they left society undone, giving the woman pressure. The man will be thinking this woman is seeing too much. Because he's seeing too much, he's making me, I'm not even break from one, he's bringing another one, I can't keep myself. So I will just leave it that way.
All right. I think we have a good talk on this particular point.
Okay.
So let's move on to the next point, on harmful advice.
Hey, yes.
On harmful advice. Now, viewers, you may be thinking that getting advice from outsiders concerning your marriage is not harmful. Some persons believe as long as the advice is good, you can go ahead and take it and work with it, and your home will be better. But we have contrary view. We say on harmful advice, please hear it properly, on harmful advice can also be a cause of conflict in the home. So let's write.
Okay.
Let's talk about it.
Yes. It's, in fact, it's not, people don't really see a healthy advice as it's also harmful.
Okay.
There are some advice you are being given, just as you said. It looks so good. When the next person applies it works for the person. And it's not everybody it works for.
Exactly.
It's not everybody. So there are some good advice we seek, even from counselors. There are some good advice they give to us, and we get, and when we take it home and just go home and start applying that advice, it becomes negative in our home. Why? Because the advice was gotten from a different person, from who has a different experience about that same particular thing, and who approach it differently. It's just like I'm selling a formula to you to solve at a mathematics, I'm just using that to solve one particular problem. And you are not used to that formula. So bringing it, the formula actually has been giving people results. But you trying to man be using the formula to struggle to solve and solve and solve, you see that you are finding error all the time because you are not acquainted to it. That is how advice that are healthy, when they are given to you, when you don't take a break to understand that you have somebody else who did not understand when that advice was given to you, and you start applying it. Okay, for example, now I said when I was about to marry, then I have a friend then, pastor friend, who was chatting with me and he discovered that my partner phone was with me, and he was like, what is going on? You know this thing can cause some kind of, what if he sees your messages? And I said, that's true. I said, but that it doesn't affect him. He said, no, it does. It's not your husband yet. So in a nutshell, he was thinking the other person is monitoring me. And me, I'm not knowing, in fact, I'm not having that idea of it. So I'm just following. And he wanted to make me understand that.
He wanted to open your eyes.
Okay, thank you.
Just like the serpent opened the eyes.
Yeah, and it was good though. When serpent was doing that, it was good. So
we'll talk about that that time.
It was good anyway. So he wanted to open my eyes, just as you said, to understand that I shouldn't just give a man the right now. He's a man. I think you see, the advice was coming from a fellow man. And this man is not just a man, he's a pastor, he's a minister, and if someone has seen the marriage, that the marriage is flowing well, it's flourishing. Then if I have taken that advice, don't you think I'll start monitoring my partner?
Okay.
Unnecessary.
Okay. I would like to add something.
Okay.
Now, you see, why some of you may be wondering, what kind of a point is this? Now, they are not two the same couple. We are all different and unique. Every marriage is different. So there are different formulas apart from the formulas that the scripture has given unto us, which is love and submission.
Yes.
Every other formula for marriage, if it works for partner A, that it works for partner A doesn't mean it will work for you. It may be a good advice, but by the time you bring it into your own home, even though the advice came from your pastor, and you do not try to enforce it. Now, I'm going to give an illustration. There's someone that I know that she was having a little marital challenge, and she met someone on Facebook, a marriage counselor, a marriage relationship coach. Okay. So she went to the person's DM and chatted her up. Long story made short, she told the person, this is the issue in my marriage, and we needed to see the counsel the person gave. Yes, it was a good counsel. And she was like, wow, this is a professional counsel. I need to take this counsel and put it into my marriage. But just when she wanted to start implementing it, good for her that she had a good relationship with the Holy Spirit. She said there and then the Holy Spirit told her to stop, that except the Lord build a house, the builder builds it, but in vain. That what she was about going to do was going to head into destruction for that home. Remember, it was a good advice from a so-called professional relationship coach, but that advice wasn't going to work for her because the situation, the family, the marriages, they are all different.
They are all different.
So that's the point that we are trying to pass across to you, that no two home, no two marriage is actually the same. Now, people are very careful of harmful advice. When they tell you your husband offends you, go back home and fight him, you say that person is a bad counselor. I won't go. But when somebody tells you to do the opposite, go back home and dialogue, whereas dialogue is not what you need. And it becomes an issue. Perhaps what you needed at that time was prayer and silence. You needed to be silent and to pray.
It wasn't even something that we resort argument, like you telling me what I know, what I don't know. Maybe that time just needed silence.
So please, as we conclude on this particular point,
please, before you conclude, let me also chip in this social media group. Do you know there are a lot of marriages that have been damaged based on some advices that are becoming, that people dish out from those groups? Not that those advice are harmful. Someone can be, just like somebody will tell you, how can you just leave your husband phone without checking your man phone? Check your man phone. If you don't check your man phone, if at the day somebody else will come to your home one day and
I think I saw that.
You see what we are saying? So that advice is not harmful. At least now, sometimes
putting you in check.
Be alert.
Be alert.
And it's not you now. You that doesn't have that kind of mind of suspecting your man before. And maybe your man is free from those things. And you people have been living fine. You know, that kind of thing will come and be telling you, why can't you check? Why can't you check? Check. Maybe before you know, your husband drops phone, you quickly take it. And he will be noticing you. Or your wife drops phone, you quickly run and go and who is calling you? Who is calling you? Who are you talking to? Before you know, somebody, the day you just pick a call and abuse someone that is so important to the person because you are feeling something is going on. And the other, your partner will feel betrayed. Like, does this person not trust me anymore? Or is this person losing trust? Okay, if I like somebody I know, you will say the moment you start suspecting me, that is the day I know you are not clean.
Wow.
Yes. You see, because it takes someone that is not clean to know that somebody else is not clean. So that person is also different. So if me now take it to my home and say the day you start suspecting me, I know you are not clean, it may affect my home. Exactly. So we should be very careful of those advice they give to us. Those advice are good. But when we want to apply it, we should look at our partner before applying. We should understand them before applying those advice.
All right. Now, the last but not the least is unnecessary comparison. I would like to ask a question. Which one amongst you will feel so good when someone tells you, is this not your mate? Why can't you be like Mr. A, or why can't you be like Mr. B, slim, dark, tall, and handsome? Why don't you dress like A? And after they tell you that, you feel very good. Now, if you don't feel good, then you know that comparison poses danger to every marriage and it causes conflict. So let's take it up from there.
Okay? You know, comparison makes your partner inferior. It makes them to have this inferiority complex. It makes them to feel that they are not equal to you. You are just managing them.
Wow.
It's just that you came to your home as a man. Wife. Now you have forgotten the sweet name. You just go, why is it that the house is so messy? Why are you making noise now? Because you went to your friend's house and your friend's house is...
That is a silent comparison.
Very silent. He didn't vocal it out, but he's not acting because
based on
what he saw. So why is your house so messy? Hey, you don't do this, you don't do that. Maybe you're not like, but I'm trying my best. What best are you trying? Have you gone to other women's home and go and see?
With 5 children,
with 5 children, with 6
and you
children.
just have one.
And you just have one. And those your one, and maybe if they look at that your one, is like 10 children. I don't know if you get. That partner will start feeling, I know what I'm doing. It means
you're not appreciating,
you are not appreciating me. And it means I'm not even doing enough. Does that mean I'm just so worthless? Does that mean I'm really that dirty? And the woman will just come and say, look at my hair. And don't you see that your friend? You know, sometimes when we are bringing this kind of thing, we don't bring it as comparison. We just bring it like, you know, I'm trying for you to just understand what I mean. So you don't even know you are comparing already. Look at it. Don't you see that hair your friend's wife wore? It's very nice. Me, I like nice hair too. It's good though. You have said it. Another day, maybe you will not like, babe, your hair is okay. Did you buy me hair? Don't you see that your friend is buying his wife hair? Are you not making the same money?
Okay. It has led to a negative reaction now from the side of the woman. But I also want to add, sometimes the man may not have known that he was actually making comparison. But the woman will pick the message very fast. That you are comparing me with another person.
And the woman will turn back, comparing the same man with the friend
to balance
the equation, so that we can feel it hot.
Wonderful.
You see, so that unnecessary comparison puts home in jeopardy. You marry a different person. You have a different partner in your home. There is no way. And it's no idea for you to just start looking at another person and start saying, I wish, okay, this person, my wife should go and act like that person. That means you are intentionally, in fact, you are indirectly saying you would have married that person.
Okay, now I would like to add, she's saying the part that has to do with you vocalizing your comparison. Now, I would like to say the part of you not vocalizing your comparison. In your heart of hearts, you see this person. Now let's use the woman. You see a man so looking good. Oh, I wish my husband dresses like this. My husband. Now you will never have a sense of fulfillment in that marriage if you keep if you keep comparing your husband with other men in your heart, especially with your pastor. You see your pastor as a perfect gentleman. Remember, he's a husband to another woman. He's in the house. I always tell the women in my church that part of the reasons that causes conflict in the home is the pastor, because most women idolize their pastor and relegate their husbands.
And their pastor is the perfect being.
You don't know that your pastor is also a husband to a wife. And you don't know the kind of character your pastor
exhibit at
home. Thank you so much. Now, when you are silently comparing, you see somebody passes. I wish your husband is opening the car for you like this other person. When you keep wishing and wishing and wishing and wishing, you will be comparing your husband with a dream. You will be a dreamer. How do I put this? Like, you're having this kind of fantasy, comparing your husband with somebody that does not exist.
And you will stop seeing your husband. Do you know? How? You will stop seeing your husband. You're already seeing someone else in your dream, someone that you are not seeing. You are picturing, so you will stop seeing him. So whatsoever he's doing, even when he's upgrading, you won't see him.
Oh, God bless you. I think that's true. You will get to the point when the man has left where he was and he's doing better. But because your eyes is focused on this is the way you want him to be, this is how he wants to be. There's something the Holy Spirit taught me. He said if there's anybody you should compare yourself with or your spouse with, is the version of him that God wants him to be. Yes. So you have to be so aligned with God to know, how does God want my husband to be? How does God want my wife to be? So that you can compare yourself with that version of God. Now, comparison now is not just comparing your spouse. Some women compare themselves and get into trouble. Or some men compare themselves with other men. So they begin to think they are not doing enough for their wife. They are not taking care of the children enough. They are not doing this, they are not doing that. And at the end of the day, they have this feeling of inadequacy. They are not happy.
Sorry. That is why you see a lot of crime everywhere. That is why you see crime going on everywhere because of this issue of comparison. I want to be like my friend. I want my home to be like my friend's home. The energy your friend is putting in, you don't know. And in an attempt to put in that same energy, you find yourself in the mess. That is where you see wife stabbing husband, husband stabbing wife, killing here and there, because of all these things start from comparison. Okay, you want to be like every other person, not yourself. Every marriage has their
peculiarities and uniqueness.
So you trying to bring in another home is like you are married to people. And when you marry two wives or marry two husbands, you know the fight.
Wonderful. So trying to bring in out. Could you say that again?
Trying is like you are marrying another wife or another. You are bringing another marriage into your home. You are not managing two marriage.
I would want to add that adultery starts from here.
Okay, that's true.
Adultery starts from here.
Yes.
Because before you start liking another person, the road to adultery, you start thinking, my wife doesn't have this, my husband doesn't have this, I wish, and that thing you so desire, one day when given the opportunity to have, you will possess.
It's true.
All right, I think we have come to the end of today's edition, and so far we've looked at the causes of conflict. We looked at unharmful advice. We also looked at unnecessary comparison. We look at the pleasures of life. Now, this is not the end of the video. We would like you to please subscribe to this channel, like, and please share and subscribe. In a subsequent video, we'll be doing a video on the resolution to conflict. So till I come your way next time, I remain Eyi Okunjemirowa. So from us, we say bye-bye.